What up, everyone? It's your boy, Satemangali, the Reverend of the Revolution, welcoming you to another edition of your Daily Revolution, the podcast that helps you to wake up, turn your brain on, and to prosper every single day in every part of your life. Today's topic, enjoy the journey. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So this morning I got up early, as usual, and went and hit my hot yoga. Instead of hitting CrossFit, instead of going for a run and lifting weights, I decided to do some hot yoga today. And I was in hot yoga, it's called the melt, right? I'm dripping sweat. Now imagine this, is 300 pound action, not even 300 pounds anymore. How about that? Sub 300 pounds with my Under Armour compression shorts, no shirt, nothing else, and just dripping sweat like this faucet that won't turn off. And I was breathing heavy, and I was like, oh man, I was feeling lightheaded. And it was neat because while I was in there, right, the normal or natural part of us wants to find the easy way out. It wants to look for the easy way, like the time to just rest and take a break. And then I remind myself, well, why am I here in hot yoga? Oh yeah, it's to get better. It's to expand. It's to become stronger. So instead of looking to try to rest and just take it easy and go through the motions, I decided to smile and enjoy the journey. See, most of us, we go to a hot yoga. Maybe you've never been to hot yoga. Maybe you're simply like, look, I'm going to lift weights, so I'm going to go for a run. Maybe it's just like my job is hard, it's difficult. And instead of embracing that pain and really enjoying and finding joy in that path and in the journey, what most of us do, right, the lazy part of me always tries to find the easy way out. Or I just like suffer through, and instead of enjoying the journey, I like, make these crazy noises. We make our face like it's in all kinds of pain. Listen, life was about being happy. Part of that happiness and path of being happy was not waiting to arrive at some destination. This is a myth. This is a fallacy. This is a lie. I will be happy when I make the money. I will be happy when my kids get older. I will be happy when my kids start making, I will be happy. Shit, I'm not happy because I missed the whole happiness is the path. Happiness is the way. I'll be happy when I make lots of money. I'll be happy when I buy the bigger home. Let me tell you a story. When I came home from the NFL, and within a little bit of time, I was broke. I was the statistic. Mismanaged my money. I was like, cool, I'm going to get out of this. So I applied my football principles and skills and mindsets and skill sets and the whole nine. Right, my work ethic and everything that allowed me to be successful in football, I applied that. And what happened was I found success again. And then I used to tell this story like, well, you know, when I make this much money, and I remember distinctly saying this, right after the NFL, when I make that first $100,000, man, that's going to be so amazing. And you know what happened? Like I made $140,000, and I was like, well, I mean, it was cool, but dude, I'm freaked out again. Like, can I do it again? Then I said, well, if I make $250,000, I'll be happy. Well, I did that. Then I'll make $500. Then when I make $750, and like it never changed. There's this pattern that tells us when I do X, then I will be Y. When I make this much money, I'm telling you right now, whether you have lots of money or little money, and believe me, I've been there in both situations, and I can tell you right now, it definitely allows you to show up differently and solve problems differently, and the stresses are different when you have an abundance of money. But my point is simply this. Don't wait to get to some destination to be happy. Now, let me tell you another story. You're like, well, that's nice about money. Well, I used to say, well, when I get this kind of car, and I remember I had this 96 Chevrolet Impala, this black Impala that Ice Cube drove in one of his movies. It was a bad machine. And I said, when I get that car, that'd be awesome. And then I went from, well, I'm going to get a truck, then I got a truck. Well, I'm going to get a Benz, then I got a Benz. Well, I'm going to get an Escalade, then a Range. And like with every car, it's been irrelevant. Like it doesn't, hey, it's cool and it's exciting. but it doesn't mean that you become happy. Remember, happiness is a choice. You've often heard that happiness is an inside job. While that's true, it's also an outside job, meaning it also comes from serving other people and helping other people around you and making a difference in the lives of others. Selfishness never was happiness. Let me use another example. Well, when I get the bigger home, like I remember living in this apartment with my wife. I think it's probably 1,000 square feet, if that, 800 square feet. It was our first home. We got married. We're like, cool. Then we moved to this enormous home, 6,000 square feet, right? Then another enormous home, like 8,000 square feet. And then we started to lose everything. And we were down back to 1,000. And the whole time, the reason I'm sharing these things is because there's this piece of everyone's mind that says, if I just make more money, if I just have a bigger home, if I just have a faster car, if I just lose more weight, if I just do this, then I will be happy. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. Listen, have some eyes to see and a heart to hear and to comprehend, or a heart to hear. That's not very cool. Have a heart to understand and ears to hear. Listen. Choose happiness today. Choose happiness today. Whether you have money, whether you don't, be happy. There's a book called The Happiness Advantage. They talk about this big time in there, and it's awesome. Like, you don't make money and then become happy. You choose happiness first, and then you become successful. But you don't arrive at some destination and all of a sudden just magically become happy. That doesn't happen. You choose happiness because happiness is the path. I remember back in 2009 when we were on EBT, I was happy. We just had my second son, but it was always this longing and desiring and wanting more. One of my coaches shared with me some time ago, he said, wanting is degrading and can be very degrading. I was like, that's an interesting thought. And I love it because wanting can be degrading. Wanting can put you in a place where it's never good enough. And this is where the key piece is appreciation and gratitude. Appreciation and gratitude. Can you be grateful where you are, still striving and desiring and having goals to expand and to become better? There's nothing wrong with having a goal to have a bigger, nicer home if that's the next step for you. There's nothing wrong with having a new car if that's what you truly want and you can afford it and you can make it happen. As long as you can choose to be happy now. When I served my 2-year mission in Micronesia, Guam as a missionary for my church back in the mid-90s. Holy smokes, I'm an old dude. I remember thinking, man, these people are happy. They live in this little plywood home with tin on top. Their water comes from the rain to the tin to the water tank from a PVC pipe through a cut hole on the plywood into the home, and they just drink it. They fish for food, they farm for food, and they eat anything that they can make with flour, sugar, and water. That was it. And yet they were happy. So I'm sharing with you, regardless of what you have today, you can choose to be happy. And, might I add, and if you want something more, set the goal and go get it while being happy the whole time. Most times, the real reward is the journey of the preparation. Yeah, when we won the Super Bowl, it was amazing with the Patriots. That was amazing. And I will never forget that day beating the Rams in February of 2002, Super Bowl 36. And it was amazing, but you know, it would have been empty and it would have been unfulfilling and meaningless if I just jumped on the team without having ever worked and paid the price and done my part. So I chose to be happy the entire time. Brothers and sisters, be happy today. Don't mean you have to put on a smiley face all the time. You know I preach be real, tell the truth. Be honest. If you're not happy about it, we'll get to the root of it. Figure it out. You want to be mad and pissed off for a little bit? That's okay too. But ultimately come back around and come full circle to, cool, I'm going to be grateful for my life. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to go to work. And find a way to choose happiness more than misery. Happiness is the way, brothers and sisters. You don't need to wait till you have that car. You don't need to wait till you make that money. You don't need to wait till you lose those pounds. You don't need to wait till you have kids. You can choose to be happy today and continue to say, what would it take? What would it take to get that, to become that, to attain and achieve that? Happiness is the way. Enjoy the journey. It's your boy Satem Mangala reminding you, if you want to create a life that you love, a life of real radical results, it will require you to get into a relentless pursuit with a ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day, so that you can get to the top of your mountains where your prize, promised lands, and possibilities are just waiting for you. The revolution has begun. I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.